If your brand belongs in the heart of the yachting world, this is where it happens. Yachting International Radio reaches over 1 million yachting professionals and enthusiasts every month, with 77 million impressions, 220,000 social followers, and 74,000 podcast subscribers. Our hosts are insiders, crew, captains, CEOs, trusted voices shaping the industry. This is targeted, high-impact advertising in a luxury niche. Visit yachtinginternationalradio.com/advertise. Your audience is already listening.
Top of the morning, folks. It's Captain Liam here. It's a beautiful day in Palm Beach Boat Show. We're here with Maria from Maritime Project Solutions. How are you, Maria?
I'm doing great, Liam.
What a nice way to start the day, isn't it?
It is fantastic.
We've been treated so well here. Very grateful for Ray and the team, at Yachting International Radio. So, Maria, tell me a little bit about kind of how you got into this yachting sector. We talked on the dock there. We had a nice coffee this morning. You mentioned some really powerful names in the industry that mentored you.
Sure.
You're now one of the people to look at to be a mentor. You are a leader in the industry, and what you're doing is redefining refit and redefine those solutions. But let's go back maybe a decade and tell us kind of what shaped you to what you are in now.
Sure. I've been in the industry for 20 years, but about 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago, I started at Fairport Yacht Support with Graham Lord, and I was given an opportunity to dig in. It changed my life. I sat in a room full of experts in compliance, security, financial admin, HR, crew.
So, all that non-fun stuff.
All the non-fun stuff.
Which is essential to your knowledge.
Absolutely. So 10 years with Fairport led me to start my own company last year, MP Solutions, doing fractional operations and administration. A couple months into that, I partnered up with Colin Lord, Senior Project Manager, and we opened Maritime Project Solutions.
Okay, Maritime Project Solutions. And as you know, everyone in the audience, I'm a captain on Motor Yacht and Bridal, so the one thing we look for is solutions. A lot of times people come to me on the bridge with a problem. I'm like, you know what? I need the solution. So the name itself has some resonance to captains. As a captain, we're at sea. Our job is the client, the crew safety, and the vessel, of course. The client being the owner or the charter client. So for us, when we look at projects and refits, whichever wording you want to use, when we return to these places, let's just start with how long you'd like us to get in contact with you. Is it mid-season, before the season, or do you want last-minute chaos like usually happens?
Absolutely not last minute. We like to have a discovery phase. Then you have your pre-planning into the yard period and reporting and delivery. So if you're going to have a six-month yard period, we would expect 6 months of pre-planning. So if you know that next year, October, you have a 15-year survey, let us know the year prior so that we can start a line making a plan with you. There's a lot of moving parts, your vendors, contractors, even yard selection. And we want everything to be the right fit for a positive outcome.
But you've been in yachting a long time. On our minds at the start of a season, 6 months prior to that kind of October, November, December, when we're looking at yard periods, the last thing in our mind is choosing a shipyard. So we have relationships. We've developed these things over the years. But the problem is we don't communicate our work lists. We don't communicate because to be honest with you, it's a funny relationship because they're asking things for us that we generally don't have time to deliver. So the sooner someone gets a hold of you, they can send you their GAs, their work list, their insurance documents, their certificate registries, all the things that you need to create a project, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, for me, I'm really excited. Unbridled, we're on the West Coast. We're in the middle of nowhere in a lot of ways. We go to Sitka, we go to Juneau, and it's hard for us to sort things. We're working together with MPS now to try and solve some of the logistical and project issues we have for being in a remote destination. What tools does your team use? Because we want to talk about, if we talk about project managers, we talk about in shipyards. That is employed by the shipyard that represents the shipyard. Now that automatically is where I'm looking for you to say, that's not in their best interest. We need to work with people like yourselves and your team because your best interest is the owner and the vessel and the long-term sustainability, correct?
Sure. So you can look at us like a refit manager. So we are the man on the ground. Our job is to coordinate timing, the businesses that align with that shipyard, the perfect fit for your project, it's relationship based, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we have the relationship with the local vendors, then we can align everything perfect for your yard period.
It makes sense. I'm really excited because, a lot of captains out there, young, they call me up and they kind of say, who do you use in this location? Whether it's in Fort Lauderdale. Now that's relationships based, but my relationship with these vendors is very buffeted. It's very kind of, it's kind of not fake in a sense, but it's based on 1 month out of 12 months. So it's based on me coming in, getting a result and going away. That's not really a good long-term relationship. Like, I know them all. I know their families and I've grown up with them, and directors and Bradfords and all these beautiful places in Fort Lauderdale, but it's not really a long-term relationship. So you're going to be here, man or woman, on the ground, working those relationships over the years for the best interest of your clients,
Right.
which is the vessels.
Right.
What's your funnest project?
Right now, it is the American Refit Leadership Council.
Okay.
I'll preface that by saying we're facing a bit of an issue here in the United States where a lot of vessels have stayed overseas for their refits. So
Yeah.
things have slowed down here a bit. So to address that issue, we have started the American Refit Leadership Council, where we are going to bring in experts to reset the standard on documentation and processes within the U.S. refit market.
Take a moment to pause now, because I think people really need to understand that. So let's say it again, the Refit Council itself, because our problems is, I think, as a captain, is consistency. That's our problem.
Right.
We go from, we call up every single shipyard if we want to, or the relationships we have, we look at the prices, and we do compare prices. But there's also the contracts are different, the compliances are different, the relationships are different. The committee itself, what's its kind of founding goal or form?
So our goal is to align the industry.
For me, the committee, I think, will solve a lot of problems from a large scale by creating consistency.
Yes.
You know what I mean? How many members do you have?
Right now we have 13. This is a collaborative council, so
Yeah.
we will have working groups. So that's what makes us different is everybody's going to contribute and reset the standard in the industry.
Fantastic.
So everybody's going to have a say on what good is going to look like.
An equal say,
Mhm.
which is important. I see the little brooch there as well, a little pennant.
Yep. All of our members get a pen.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So for me, we talk about projects, we talk about teak, we talk about engine repairs. In terms of parts, our biggest problem is generally lead time. When we come into a shipyard, we're then told it'll be 2 weeks, it'll be 3 weeks. Now, granted, that is on us. It's our lack of preparation, and captains are not going to want to hear that.
Right.
And engineers are going to say it's great because they can stay longer in the shipyard and fix more things. But realistically, I look at yachts, because I'm from an expedition background, as a results-driven machine, as a performance-based machine. And that machine needs to come in and come out quickly. We want to talk kind of about how you can align those goals with us. Is it budgetary kind of outlays you put together?
Absolutely.
What's your ideal way a captain can contact you? You want to stretch your leg out a bit?
No, it's,
No problem.
it's a cushion.
Oh, we should do some yoga here as well, It's the captain's chat. It's like the bridge,
Yeah.
We go through everything.
I think it all starts with a conversation. Our team needs to know what the timeline looks like, what the owner's budget limitations are. Is it charter or private? So all of these working parts have to come together for a positive outcome in the end. And without that initial conversation and clarity, that's how we make
So the conversation starts with a captain. So I employ you, correct?
correct.
I employ you, captains, vessel managers, reach out to you, project managers, reach out to you from the shipyards, because you're really going to, I see your vision. I really do, Maria. I really do. I've done a lot in this industry, and 85 to 90% of it's at sea. That's the world I live in. I don't pretend to understand this world. Boat shows are a unique thing for me. They take up 5% of my time.
Right.
So for me, what you're offering is a solution that really expedites and simplifies the process for me.
Absolutely.
But your best interest, it's what's different, what's exciting about this is, I don't want to go back to project managers in a negative way, because they have their value. They represent the yard. And it's important we have that communication. But where yachts are missing and where you fill that big gap, that creates so many communication issues, delay issues, budgetary issues, and lack of efficiency and time, You create that gap by communicating with the captain, the project manager, the shipyard. Do you also get involved in class and flag, or that's something
We work alongside of Class and Flag.
alongside?
Yeah, so the relationships are there too. And that goes hand in hand with forecasting. So if one of our project managers, he can foresee what is going to happen or how it needs to play out,
Yeah,
right? And that's what, again, brings you a positive outcome.
it doesn't it? Yeah, it makes a difference. I mean, your office is located in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, we're right off 17th Street.
Where's it near? 17th Street?
In the
Waxies, where's that? Where's
Waxies. I
Waxies?
think we've all heard of
Oh,
Waxies.
I think I know
Waxies
the
and
place.
Smallwoods Plaza.
Yeah, exactly. So all the captains, I know a lot of hang out there on a Wednesday as well. A lot of captains hang out there on a Wednesday morning, I think it is. So it's, I don't know, I think a lot of captains should reach out and just see what services you offer. I know for me, you solved a problem. The problem I had was logistical.
Right.
It was a timeline-based thing. So I really appreciate that. We're on the west side of the west coast of America. I think, are you looking more nationally? You're trying to bring more yachts in? Where's your niche market?
It started in Fort Lauderdale, but the conversation grew. I'm now going to Fort Pierce and Stewart on a regular basis, and I will keep going north and west. This is a national issue.
Yeah.
We need to be cohesive. We need to support each other. There's a lot of moving parts. There's opportunities in Savannah, Seattle, so why not do this as a team?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I mean, because we choose our refit location, honestly, based on our experiences in the past. But let's be honest, as captains, most of our experiences, we all say it's all positive, everything's perfect. But we know we can be better. We know we can be more efficient. We know we can cut costs and save time and money. And those things go hand in hand. In your experience, you talked about Fairport, correct? So that was a really good overview of the industry. Mm-hmm. Where do you see, I can handle, I got big shoulders. Where do you see where captains go wrong?
I think they make...
Don't be too mean though, come on.
Sure, I'll be nice. No, but maybe sometimes they're caught up in the moment and you just want to just get it done. So to reach out seems like it might take time that you don't have, but it'll end up biting you on the backside. Right? You might rely on your crew to help with the project or align something coming ashore, but your job is to run the vessel, run that program. Our job is
to run the refit.
We said in our first council meeting on Monday night, we want to be the I got a guy. So when you need something, you call us. And we'll take care of it.
Oh, that's fantastic, because it's hard as a captain. You want to let heads of department manage their departments. Right. That's as a leader, I look at my heads of departments, I respect them, I admire them, and part of their learning process is to manage their projects. But I know they don't have all the skills, and therefore they ask me. But I'm honest enough to myself to know I don't have all the skills. My job's out there to make sure I give the clients the best experience of their life. Right. To get in the whales, to get in those goosebump moments. That's the business I'm in. I'm not in the business of worrying about who's going to protect my deck when I get to Fort Lauderdale. Right. So what happens is, as a captain, we get to Fort Lauderdale, we speak to the chief officer, we need to protect the deck for the engine room. Right. Then the engineer goes, it's too late, they're coming tomorrow. So the deck crew throw down some furniture blankets, damage to the teak, damage to the paint. This is where I see your company's really going to solve the issue for young and also older captains to make it a streamlined process. Let's talk vendor selection, because Fort Lauderdale is a sensitive place. Right. So we're not going to throw out any names, people. Right. I'm not going to, if you need to get a hold of me, get a hold of me. If you need to get a hold of Maria, get a hold of Maria. And how can they find you, Maria? You can find me at mpsolutions913.com. Yeah. Our info ad and my office number right there on the website. It's a great website. I saw it this morning. It talked about excellence, talked about a commitment. But we talk about vendors. They should also be reaching out to you. Because you're going to be the people, you're going to be the person in the company that chooses which vendors preferred or not. Right. Correct? What does that process look like? Because as a captain, that's where I want to know. So our relationship with the vendors, we know what they have going on. 20 years in the industry, all the moving parts. So the histories, the good and the bad, and the ups and the downs and the growth. Yeah. So we know which vendors will best suit a certain program. And that's everything. If the relationship works when you're in the yard, that's what we want to see as a positive outcome. Yeah.
you as the captain, you're our client. So the same as when your clients are on board and you want them to have good experience, that's exactly what we want for you.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the crew. Now, you've seen the industry from Fairport, from one of the icons of vessel management, and Graham Lords with PYC, and founded a great organisation I'm super proud to be a part of, and shout out to PYC, which, I'm really proud of what he's done in the industry. From Fairport, it changed the game. PYC changed the game from crew care.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You see all these crew coming in. You see the dynamics. What do you think the industry, and this is not really a company question, this is a personal question. This is something from me to you and a conversation that I want to understand. Where do you think we can do better as captains or as professionals? Because we see these young kids, 19, 20, getting off in a foreign town, going out partying, waking up 3 hours later, working 12 hours. And we talked about some stories of young children.
Right. I think there needs to be accountability. I think that we need to hold them to the same standard that we all grew up with.
Yeah.
So my oldest son, he had the opportunity about 3 years ago to do some day work in some local yards. And I knew it was going to be a rough first day for him, and he came home pissed off.
Yeah,
and
that's the day work world, isn't it?
Yeah, they had him doing some really dirty jobs. And I said, when you're out at sea, you can lose a digit, a limb, or your life. So if you can't handle cleaning out the nasty refrigerator, you don't deserve to be out at sea because you can't take care of your fellow crewmates. So we have to set a standard. Your phone isn't a way out. You've got to be present and be accountable.
Wow. Love it, Maria.
Thanks.
I'd love to stop now, but I'm actually really excited to talk to you a bit more. Can we continue a bit?
Sure.
Because I think you said be present and be accountable. Now, as you know, if you know me, I do care so much about my crew. And that's really, it's hard because I also have to push them very hard. Because the standards, and I get goosebumps, because the standards that we're requested every year, Palm Beach Boat Show, Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, Antigua Charter Show, the chefs go up, the stewardesses' table decorations go up. We need more and more, the quality of supplies, services, like yourself, your company. Mm-hmm. The industry pushes us. Like, I feel that pressure as a human being, that the industry pushes us to do more. The clients demand more from us. Last year in Alaska, it was every day I had to perform and make those whales perform the best I could make them perform. And that's not easy because I've got to navigate a ship and a time of departure to get the guests out there to see a whale jump in front of them. And it's like, you may think that's perfect timing, but it's not. It's a system. It's a timing that we flow with clients. And that comes from supporting them mentally and supporting them physically. These shipyards. Now, I want to go back because people know me. I'm a little bit hard when I come to conversations. And let's be honest, I do care about my crew. I do care about the vendors on the vessel. These shipyards, I don't see they do enough for crew welfare. I see the marinas, and I'll call you out, shipyards. I think you're wonderful. Please let me in again. But I think you're wonderful. When I say I don't do enough, that's a challenge. That's me reaching out to you to say, please listen, please help, because the relationships that we develop with these young people are the future of our industry. And if we encourage them to leave shipyards, go to get drunk, come back to the gate drunk, and let them in drunk onto these vessels, it shapes our industry. That's acceptable. And it's not acceptable.
Right.
We have to understand that. I see some places like LMC, great yacht spot, the bar there, and I see Rybovich, great. They're not so much, they're refit areas, they're not so much shipyards. Shipyards are more of a commercial aspect. What are 2 or 3 things that you think a shipyard, without any names, you got to keep your relationship strong, could do to improve crew welfare or also subcontractor welfare?
I think there has to be a space, even in a shipyard environment, there has to be a space where crew can find a place to relax, unwind, connect with the environment that they're in, whether it's a point of contact. Me personally, if somebody comes into town and they need anything, I'll answer my phone any time of day, Saturday or Sunday. I've always been that way because the crew are constantly traveling, so we're their home base. Yeah. So the shipyard has to keep that in mind. They haven't seen their families or friends for years and they're out there killing it every day. So give them something, a little reprieve when they're on land in a shipyard.
Yeah, I think that's great. Well, I think, to be honest with you, your company is creating that space
Yes.
subconsciously, if that makes any weird sense, because you're providing us a buffer, you're providing us a familiar face, you're providing us maybe a hire car or something that could, within the refit budget, to say, here's our budget. Because when I do budgets for my owners and clients, I include everything. I include usually a fitness program for the crew, because usually after week one, you see them and you're like, you guys have got to go to the ocean. You got to go for a swim, or you got to go to yoga, or go for a gym, or go for a movie. So I know Regal Cinemas have a $25 unlimited package. I know the gyms are like a $49 per month unlimited package. To me, that's what a refit looks like in the modern world. A refit isn't just a yacht coming in and crew throwing down a furniture blanket and parts coming in and parts going off. A refit looks like a 1 month period, and I'm pushing engineers and I'm pushing captains and I'm pushing crew and I'm pushing yourself to get us in and to get us out.
Right.
Because our world is out there.
Right.
That's our world. That's what we're paid to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
How can we help? How can the industry help? How can I help?
I think that we, as part of this movement for us to come together as an industry, hold each other accountable, like I said, but listen to what we're saying, Shoreside. We do want to give you the best experience, so let us help you. Let's plan ahead of time. Let's have the communication and be transparent in what needs to happen. Because when things go wrong, it's easy for somebody to, quote unquote, jump ship, and it leaves us holding
or blame.
Placing blame where it doesn't need to go.
It's always the captain's fault,
Right.
I think the other thing too is, and this is a personal thing because it comes from my wife, and when I go home, I'm told you're not the captain here.
Right.
And I was married 17 years, so that was early on in my career, my marriage career in a sense. I was like, within 5 years, I kept coming home and organising everything. It's going to be perfect, and the water's got to be right, and you know what I mean. And then after a couple of years, I was like, you're not the captain here. You let it go. And I think that's what a lot of times captains, and I do get a bit emotional. I'm sorry, but we need to let it go. We need to trust the people, but innately, and it's not natural for us to do that. Innately, we're designed to control the environment.
Sure.
And then all of our environment has become a shipyard. And we're trying to control the crew. We're trying to control the image. So it's a challenge for us. I think you'll help that. That's the way I see the benefit of your company, not just not just financially. Number one, I see a huge financial benefit. I'm going to say 20%. Mm-hmm. And why I say that is because of the time.
Right. The
time factor. That is such a huge cost to a project that people don't get.
Right.
And when you show up and throw down your furniture blanket, it doesn't work. You need to show up, get a company, put in proper protection, get in, get out, no damage.
You can see us as an extension of your team, of your crew.
Oh, nice. I like that. Oh, we're going to align here. This is going to be great.
It's going to be great.
How come no one's done it, though?
I'm not sure. I think that the need has become very apparent now.
Yeah.
And starting this company with Colin, and how slow it's been, I've tasked myself with finding the solution. My saying is that if you're a business owner in this industry and you see a problem and you're not willing to fix it, you don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
So I want to fix the problems. I want to solve your problems before you come ashore. I want to be a point of support where needed and bring cohesiveness back to our industry.
Perfect. What would you like to see crews doing when they come ashore? As a recreational thing, as a fun thing?
That's a good question.
Because everyone comes to Fort Lauderdale and they tomorrow I'm doing a run, doing a beach cleanup at Riviera Beach. You should join in. I don't know where you're both based, but we're doing a little beach cleanup with seakeepers. We're doing a run with Charles, who's joining soon. But what do you think crews should be doing when they come to Fort Lauderdale? What's your kind of go-to activities?
Like I said, that's a good question. It really depends on, do they want to disengage from the program for a bit and clear their heads?
I want them to. I want them to.
Yeah.
Because our stress is out there. Our stress is we're show people. We've got to be. Success is service for us. It's not shipyards. That's engineers, officers.
Yeah.
I need my service-based people, the stewardesses, the deck crew, the officer, even the chief officer, the guest-facing people. I need them to.
I think that's something that I could develop with crew. If crew want to reach out to me and we can put together a program, with options. So it's not just on the captain or the chief stewardess or the purser to find options or activities for them to do. Maybe that's...
What's your go-to? If you
What's
don't mind
my
being
go-to?
personal, what's your go-to?
I-
That's too personal. You're like,
No.
don't ruin my spot.
No.
Don't ruin my spot, Cap.
No, it used to
You
be
can say there's 10 people here now. You know?
Yeah. paddleboarding, hopping on my bike, but
Nice.
yeah,
Motorbike, road bike.
just a road bike.
Road bike, beautiful.
Road bike.
I stayed out at Western quite a bit,
Okay,
and I go on the road bike, a nice little Trek road bike on there.
it's
And
nice out there.
I love it, but the problem is that it's flat, which is great, I guess.
Mhm.
But the wind, and that wind
The
up
wind.
about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a headwind, and you're looking at the heat, and you're just like, please go away, son. You know, being Australian and white, and it's like, you know, it's not a healthy place to be out there on a road bike out west.
True.
But I appreciate your time. We're going to wrap it up if that's okay with you.
Sure.
But let's regroup a little bit. Let's go back to some of the pillars of success we talked about. It is about service.
Yes.
For me as a captain, my job is to serve the clients and the owners the best I can. My service for the crew is about crew wellness. My service for the environment is about caring for it. The service you provide and the solutions that you provide, what are the core pillars for you? What do you want people to really remember about MPS? The committee, the council, because you're building a lot here. You're making a big
Right.
difference.
At the end of the day, we want to leave you with
Positive experience.
yes, absolutely.
Cost savings, you think it'll make a difference?
Oh, cost savings for sure.
From
yeah.
a time perspective.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All right, you've been wonderful to have on board. You're a lovely smile. I'm excited to see you. Thank you for helping me on Bridal in Alaska. You're solving problems that no one could for me. You've saved time for me, which has saved costs, which gives me more time to focus on finding those whales.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Be blessed, mate, to everyone.